Hey everyone, Panyo here. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of After Dinner Mints. Before we begin, I highly encourage everyone watching to join us in the Art Blocks Discord. For those watching us on the live stream, there will be people in the community chatting in the Art Blocks Mints channel. A link to our Discord can be found in the description of this video. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode of our weekly show. Before we begin, we have changed the trivia for the giveaway so that you will need to write in the correct answer for the first trivia question, and you won't be able to proceed to the other questions unless you get that first question correct. As a hint, it will be a music-related question. And now I want to introduce our guest for this evening. We have generative artist Che Yu Wu.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Choi. Nice to meet you guys tonight.
Thanks so much for joining us on After Dinner Mints. Really appreciate you. I know you had a playground drop just yesterday. Congratulations on that selling out. And we will talk about that project, Electriz, a little bit later on. But first, I want to just kind of kick things off. I'd love to learn just a little bit about your background when it comes to art.
Yeah, so actually, originally I'm from Taiwan, and I'm studying electrical engineering and more like an engineer style before. And then after that, I started doing animations, Flash, and interactive like small games when I'm very young. So I write program I do codes for around like 10 years to 15 years right now, till now. And after that, I just like doing some visual. I have my own design company doing visual designs, and then doing some interactive web design development cases. And then I found out that it's a little bit boring at that time. So I just decided to come to New York and studying in NYU integrated digital media to get some like new inspirations in VR, AR, that kind of different creative stuffs instead of just solving engineering problems. So that's how I got into from an engineering side to a more artist feeling of creating all my works.
Excellent. And then, when you started getting into art, were there any artists you looked up to, or were you inspired by like specific artists or like a specific style of art? Or I don't know if you had like people in your family or friends that were into art.
Yeah, so actually, I started art quite not quite late because like I started doing some games, but I don't think they are purely art. But like the thing inspired me a lot is Team Labs work. So for Team Labs, they are like interactive studio. They love a very large and immersive exhibition. Like you can play with that with your buddy, and there's like a fantastic shader and 3D world. So that is the first kind of inspiration for my works. And the other one is Ryoji Ikeda. So Ryoji Ikeda is a Japanese algorithm artist, and he's doing a lot of like kind of data combined into like zero and ones, black and white, kind of a streaming style of art, and make it very immersive and make very digital. But that's kind of the style I like. I like very digital stuff. So I like physics, I like math, and then I try to find the poetry or try to find the art in that like very difficult rules or like things.
Awesome. That's great. And then, obviously we're in the NFT crypto space. Like, what was your introduction into, this world that we're a part of?
Yeah, so actually like I started mining Bitcoin like from 2013 or something. But I didn't keep any of them. I just like spend them and buy some instant noodle. I'm pretty happy about that.
That's great.
And
You
after
got to
that,
eat.
yeah, but yeah, I got something there. But so after that, I tried to invest in cryptos, and I lost a lot of money when I
Oh,
did
no.
that years ago. And then I step away. And then like finally this year, a friend of mine talked to me that, oh, you should put some of your work on OpenSea. And like there's some in fact NFT stuffs going around. You should have some possibility because he's seen me like posting my works in the past 3 years, but nobody responds to it. So it's quite a fun. So that's how I got introduced to the NFT world. In March, someone just told me like I should put my work on here.
Got it. And then, when you saw OpenSea, you saw a bunch of artwork on there. Was it pretty immediate that you were like, you understood that this is like a possible avenue for your digital art? Or is it something that took a little bit of time before you actually released anything?
I have a very difficult time. I actually spent that like 300 or $500 to mint the first work because you have to
Oh,
get
wow.
approved like OpenSea or something. And then I'm thinking about wow, I just just think about like I throw the money away in the water, and then I post off on Word. I think I post like 10 of them on OpenSea, and no one noticed that, and no one bought that. So it's quite scary for me, like for the first trial.
Yeah, it sounds like you have to put a lot of money up front also, which is like you said, just a scary thing to, put $400 or $500 up front.
Yeah, it isn't. I can imagine that, and also like oh, so the friend who introduced me, bought one of my work just to support me,
Oh,
and really
nice.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
And that at that time it's like point 0.1 ETH that of that work, and that's a lot to me at that time, and it's not bad. But like
Yeah.
other works, they're just lying there. No one
Yeah.
knows that at all.
So was that this year? I don't know if you mentioned it. Was that this year or last
Yeah, it's
year?
this year, this
This year.
March.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then, obviously, I would love to see, some of your early generative art pieces that you created if you have some to share with the community.
Yes. So I do a lot of generative art, like since I got to New York.
Hmm.
So let me share. Am I able to see my screen right now?
Yeah, we see the shared screen. Yeah.
Okay, so I started doing creative coding after I got to integrated digital media, and then I didn't I actually learn the creative coding class, but I do the research. I'm the research assistant for like 5 classes, and I teach a lot of students. So by that time, I'm more like an engineering role. So I'm kind of solving questions for students. So for some of my early works, you can see that like this one. I see like some of the like the physical art. Do you know that the art that
It's like a
that is like
mobile, like, yeah.
yeah. So after I saw that, I said, oh, it's fun. And I tried to do a coding version of that. And the other one is just like playing with Perlin noise, like this one, like dropping some particles and affected by the force field of Perlin noise. And at that time, it's pretty artistic for me
Yeah,
as an
no, that's great.
engineer. And I start to feel that there's some power and some like some art inside it. But you can see that from my early works, the colors, most of that are like the hue, saturation, and brightness mode. So they are very vibrant, but they are not very delicate and a little bit too digital.
Would
Yeah,
you
and
say
also the shapes. Yeah.
would you say like the colors that were you inspired by anything specific, or are those just colors that you're drawn to when you look at it?
Yeah, so for in the early stage, I just like I try to draw colors that I know what I can do something by code. So I will look into like HSV and to find the saturation or find a hue that might make sense. But after that, I start to do some simple from my like current life. I try to grab some from photos. I also have a Pinterest board. I collect a lot of ideas just when I create new works. I
Mhm.
was just referencing some of the color sets and try to find something inspire me and connect the dots together to create my new works.
That's great. And then
Yeah.
are you able to share with us your first ever NFT that you minted?
Yeah, sure.
Or like
So the first
the first 10, I guess.
yeah, yeah, sure. Yes, I'm in there at the same time. And like after that the friend told me I just mint one of my favorite work in my early stage that is Tangled. I want to show the interactive version first.
Yeah, yeah, please.
So yeah. So Tangled is actually this one. So there's some technique I use a lot of
Oh, wow.
time, like particle systems, like how to affect particles using force field, and this is the like the most classic work of mine. I just like it a lot. So this is also the first NFT I put on OpenSea. So you can saw that in the collection. So my collections, there's a generative art NFT, and this is kind of solving by license because at that time I didn't. I'm more in like a design studio thinking of that. I think like nobody will buy my art if it is not a license. So I start
Yeah.
to sell this, and this is kind of the first one is this one, and my friend is still holding it.
That's
So
awesome.
I'm pretty happy for that. Like,
So is
it's
that the one you said that one is your very first NFT that you minted out of the
yes,
10? Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so and also like this others like pufferfish or snails. After that, I try to when I post on Instagram and Facebook, I just think of this as another place to exhibit my work. So I just post it there. I didn't care about that much if it will get sold or not.
Yeah, I really love was one of the 10 the one with the fish and like the fishing lure?
Yeah, the fish. This one.
And
fish
then
race
wherever, yeah,
or
wherever your mouse goes, then basically it moves where the lure is.
yeah,
Oh, that's my favorite piece that you have. I think that's
yeah.
such a cool one. Do you know the
Yeah,
collector of that, or is that just kind of an anonymous person?
I know the collector of that, and so they like the collector of that also say to me that he enjoy fishing with his son a lot,
Mhm.
so he bought this work and
Got
like
it.
hold it till now, and then like I'm thinking it's pretty fun, and also I gave him a craft him just in like because I remember his story and
Yeah,
just try to draw it like a thank you letter for him.
that's awesome. And when you are coding, what kind of music, do you listen to while coding?
Yeah, so I often listen to lo-fi music.
Lo-fi music? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. What kind? Are there any specific artists?
Not at all. I just like listen to Spotify and playing lo-fi music
Lo-fi?
or like the YouTube lo-fi like collection.
Cool. No, I think
I
that's
really
great.
do. Yeah.
And then, so I know some of your other projects, you've done a lot more besides what you've shared on, OpenSea, on Artblocks. One of the pieces that caught my eye was called "Floating in the Sky." It's a VR experience.
Yeah.
Are you able to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So when I'm studying in NYU, I do a lot of different medias of designs. So I try VR works. Do some kind of Magic Leaps works when I'm interning in other company. So this is one of my work that is in a class project called Floating in the Sky. So basically, the idea is just like you grab an umbrella and you in the virtual world you can just fly in the sky and control the motion by tilting the umbrella, and also like if you hold a little bit tighter you can flow higher and stronger. So actually the storyboard just started from like I'm walking in the very dark sea because in the first and second year when I come to New York I'm come a little bit depressed because I'm feeling that it's very hard to stay in this city. You have to
Hmm.
find work, and also it's hard to do this kind of thing. It's hard to imagine that what do it be like after you are working. So I started just like in a dark city, and then I just saw a light umbrella, and I just grab it and fly in the sky and glance through the forest and see just to get away from all of this.
How did you
So
How did you decide on an umbrella?
actually, I dream of that,
Oh,
and
really?
then yeah, I have a dream, and also a little bit inspiration from Totoro.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
Miyazaki
A
movie.
little bit from that, and I think it's pretty fun. So yeah, so that's why I decided to
Cool.
pick an umbrella as a medium.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah. So like I use Unreal Engine to do the 3D part. I do the camera, and also use Max NSP when I like tilt the camera. I kind of handle the value in the Max NSP part, and then do like collaboration. I really love to program and do coding and solve problems.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's how I get to here and start also doing some of music for my own works.
That's great. That's so
Yeah,
awesome. And
yeah,
then another project. Well, actually, just to continue on with this project right here, the floating in the sky. Uh, can you scroll up to the top where you have the actual umbrella itself?
yeah, sure. So the actual umbrella is kind of like this, and also I can play a little bit through that,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this
If you
one.
don't mind,
Yeah,
like playing just a couple seconds, if you can.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
you're
you can
wearing a
just
VR headset.
yeah, it's an Oculus, and
Okay, an
like
Oculus.
Oculus connected, and also Arduino connected to the same computer.
Cool.
Yeah, so you can see that like when I'm tilting around, you can see the preview like in this, but actually I'm playing it in VR.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Do you still have that project? Then I mean, like, do you have the components to like repiece and put it together if you wanted to, or?
Yes, I still keep the umbrella.
Okay,
It's
cool.
very hard. Like if every time I execute it, I have to fix something. Like there's so many part of that in software and hardware.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So one of the other projects from your website that caught my eye was called the Interactive Sound Exhibition, which I
yeah.
believe was held in Taiwan. Can you talk to us about that project and kind of the idea behind it?
So sorry, which one? Which one is that?
Oh, it's the Interactive Sound Exhibition. It's the one with like the utensils and the pots and pans making the sounds.
Oh yeah. So this one is a project that work with my friend. So my friend is another like audio artist who inspired me, also teach me a little bit on Max MSP, and it's how I get into this world. So this is a collaboration project which I done. So it's using Max MSP and also using Socket.io. So I'm a web engineer before. So my friend in Taiwan that they handle the artist doing the instrument part, like to use different pots or cups or something like
Hmm.
that. And then I do. You can see the UI on the phone. So they
Yeah,
are
it's like
all
a
connect
it's an
together
app.
using Socket. Yeah,
So
yeah.
is
So
it
it's
like
kind of yeah. Yeah.
oh, I was just gonna say, is it like a collaboration where everyone can be on the same time and hit the buttons and it'll
Yes, yes, and
execute?
they can control and join the music together.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and I'm assisting this project like a technical engineer, and I think it's very fun. And also, like for myself, I think it's uh, also I'm very eager to become the main artist at that time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And then what about the lighting? Is that also triggered from people using the app as well?
No, but the lighting is mostly controlled by the VJ. So like
Oh, okay.
people joining, and the VJ is still like the main holder to control the atmosphere and also the fall music.
Got it. And would you ever consider, I don't know if you know if it's possible, but doing like a generative art piece where you kind of have also this interactive like element at the same time? Is that like I don't even know if that technology is like out there and possible to put together, but was that something you would ever, consider down the road?
Yeah, I'm still want to do some physical works.
Mhm.
But it's actually because I'm doing more NFT right now and doing creative coding. I'm kind of missing playing with the Arduino and playing with the fits like a real object.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Got
I
it.
probably do like another exhibition early next year. I have some different thoughts about like digital plans, generative faces, and I would definitely like include some of the physical part to let people engage with that.
That's awesome. And that would that be in the States or would that be abroad?
I don't think I think I'll hold two exhibition. One is in Taiwan, and one is in. I'll try to hold an exhibition in New York. So,
Yeah.
but it's hard when you're not a very famous artist yet. Like I'm so for the route, I'm struggling. I kind of get some kind of success in the NFT world, but I know that this is a hot market and changing market.
Mhm.
So I also want to try to become also like a real artist in the real world to connect with
Yeah.
some galleries.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll definitely have to keep an eye out for, if when your next exhibitions do happen. And I think you could definitely make something happen in New York. I mean, you have a strong supporting, like a base of collectors and, obviously with like CHAMs and Saleabots
Yeah.
and stuff. I think, I hope it'll continue and you can make that
Yeah, I was
happen.
just if you ever have any exhibition like connections or opportunities, just like feel free to talk with me. I'm
Perfect.
really happy
Yeah.
to
I'm sure somebody,
appreciate that.
hopefully someone listening, if not listening now, maybe someone knows someone else. And yeah, it'd be great to make that happen.
Yeah,
So I want to talk about your first Art Blocks drop, which happened yesterday. It was
yeah,
called Electriz.
yeah,
So this project is obviously a lot different than the Saleabots, CryptoPokey, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But as far
yeah,
as like its playfulness, like what was
yeah.
the inspiration behind the specific project?
Yeah, so the inspiration of this project is actually I'm very fascinated with physics. So when I'm very young, I just read like lots of books around like the like 3-dimensional world, 4-dimensional world, and like what is the smallest particle in the world.
Hmm.
So like I just saw that the story of the like scientists try to find the smallest particle. Like they just use the collider to break the particle to find there are smaller pieces. So after I knowing that, it's kind of the initial idea of this project. I just think of that maybe I can do like when they want to discover particle bits that is too small, they have to use cloud chamber. That is like there's like water scattering around. So when the particle goes through that, they will have a trace of like very white. Not the obvious trace, but you can saw that.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they can also determine like what is this particle by their radius and also their weight or their speed or something.
Got it.
So yeah.
Cool. And then when coding this project, at the time of like the creation, did you have an idea of what the final piece would look like, or do you kind of are you more of the type of person where you kind of start out with smaller ideas and let it evolve over time?
Yeah, I'm a person like most of the time just like make it evolve through what I imagine as an initial idea.
Got it. Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. And then it's always interesting to see how colors are used in projects. I love the colors you use in just all your projects, even the earlier ones that you're kind of showing. They're obviously
Thank you.
very vivid. How do you go about selecting palettes, and is there any inspiration, from in real life objects or life experiences that you use for the palettes?
Some of that is come from my experience. So I have three routes to picking colors. One is like most of the time I'm doing new works, so like I'll just go to color cycle, and then I try to go through some random colors as the first inspiration,
Hmm.
and then after that I'll try to see like, oh, maybe like my mood, I like this red today, and I'll lock it down. I like this blue today, and like I'll try several color palettes here, and then I put it as the first iteration of the color. And then after that I'll try to refine and make like the better hue and better color that works together. And so this is the first route. Like most of the time, I pick colors very fast. And the other route is that from my life experience, I just like that color combination. Like this one, like the Mint Zero of the Electriz project. It's actually the Earth color. It's like gold plus dark blue, and I really like things in like dark background with a like really light and vivid color.
Yeah, it just kind of helps it pop a little bit. I like it a lot.
Yes.
What can you tell us about the special type feature in this project? I had a community member actually reach out about that question.
Yeah, so the special types, actually, I'm just making a lot of different types of mint. So for special types, there's splash. So there's this one. You can say it's spray. So you can see that there's some of the spray near the particles, make it more like a pen brush. And then the special types also have another one is the Hemley one. I actually there's a mystery Hemley feature in the special type, and also this one. And this one is the special type wireframe.
Uh huh.
So wireframe is basically like so this will combine two parts. One is space division to divide the space in rectangular or angular areas, and then the particle system. So the special type of wireframe is actually I just make it wireframe for the space division to make the particle pop up more.
Okay, great.
Yep.
That's awesome. And then,
Oh,
oh, go ahead. Do you have any
yeah.
more?
There's another cool story of
Yeah.
like the mint number. So the mint number 910 is actually September 10th. It's
Mhm.
the first starting time of the super collider in Europe.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah,
cool.
so I just feel that I really like that story and all the
Yeah,
things
yeah.
behind
That's
physics.
great. I'm glad you're able to share that.
Yeah.
Were there any specific mints from this project that surprised you?
Yeah, so actually Mint Zero surprised me a lot. Like it's very hard to see like a full circle, just like a foam and like hugged by the particles. So also besides Mint Zero, I have like multiple uh favorites one. But I also like walk through that because I think I'll explain why I love those. So this is one that inspired me a lot. Like this is kind of like a space station. I can see that this one,
Yeah.
it's kind of like astronaut like in the space there's a space station floating there, and it's not I didn't estimate like it looks like this at all.
Oh, kind of like the ISS, like International Space
Yeah, it's like
Station.
guys
Yeah, yeah. I can see
yeah,
that now. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, so that's one very fascinated me a lot. And then I'll pick like two or three. I really like things like this one really comes together. Like you can see that the shapes and all the it's not all splattered around. They're like being this a certain direction, and this one is kind of you can see that it's like a ghost character here standing here.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the cloud and doing something like magically. Yeah, and I walked through all the mints today, and I really think that there's like most of that set. I think it's pretty fun. Also, this one I just walked through like three, four of them. And this one is also you can see that it's very condensed, and also it's like an alien planet and
Yeah.
live on the ground or try to grow in the space or something. I like that pattern, and also it feels a little bit religious. I don't know, but it
Mhm.
feels like some uh, graphics that you're looking at temple or in a religious place.
I like the background color on that one too, because you have like the black, almost like negative space, and then you have that
Yes.
kind of green aqua color in the middle, and
Yeah.
everything's basically living in that that middle green area. Is that on purpose or is that like
No,
because it?
it's it's totally unexpected.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, so like maybe the final one, just walk through another one. This one, I also like a very complex one like this one. So you can see that it's growing just randomly and very wild. So there's a chaos factor in the work that is how particle is affected by that space. So if chaos factor is 0, you can see that they're all straight lines because it's just expanding and not affecting by the space. But if it is chaos factor like 10 or 9, you can see that by the space it'll just twist a lot, or it'll just like go um yes, just it just like curve have a very curvy line of trace.
That's cool. And then as far as like displaying these pieces, what's the best way in your opinion to for like collectors to display their art? Is it more would you just say like digitally, or would you ever consider like printing these out? Like I'm just curious from your point of view what you would prefer.
Yeah, so actually, I when I first do this work, I my goal is to make it looks good in also all the static, both static and dynamically. So that's why I made the toggle texture feature. So if you go to any of the mints, I just go to like mint 0. There's some 3 features, so you can also see it on the website. I explained it a little bit. Show you that NFT, this one. So you can see that if you want to toggle the texture, you can click T. You can actually turn on and off the texture. I'll just do like a full screen mode of this. So T to turn on and off.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's if you want to print it out as a static image, you can actually just print it out like without texture. Want to avoid like the like interfering of the canvas texture and also the texture in the image. And also you can click as to save the image.
Okay.
So yeah, I try to make it looks fun in dynamic and static.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then is it something where you would ever yourself offer printed and signed, pieces as well, or is that something that's, currently
I,
not
I'm
a thing?
still thinking that event, that kind of event, but it's hard because I have to ship like 900 of them. It'll be too much, but maybe like in future there'll be like 5 to 10 special traits, or I will be able to sign and print it to send it.
Cool. And then
Yeah.
obviously, most all your pieces have animation on your projects. I know you like physics; they're fun and they're energetic. Uh, would you ever drop, a static piece, or are you always just gonna, or would you always, consider just doing, animated and interactive pieces?
I do actually do a lot of static pieces. So you can see that on Foundation or something. I really have a lot of works that is more traditional generative artworks
Okay.
way. Yeah. So though they are dynamic like in the original code, but I think they also perform very well in that like the uh static form of that. So I will consider drop something, but actually my ultimate goal for an NFT is to make it interactive and make it fun and make
Mhm.
it unexpected. So I think then I'll tend more to make more dynamic NFTs.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. You do a fantastic job. So that leads me to talking about, CHAMs, aka like Salobots,
Yeah,
and the Crypto Pokey. Is it Crypto Pokey or Pochi?
Pochi.
Pochi. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Crypto Pochi.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on how things have taken off with, Salobots, aka CHAMs, and the community built around the idea?
Yeah, so actually, I'm pretty surprised when someone told me like my work is slow away and like what, and they just write a random mail to me, and after that, sorry, like people possibly know that I have agreement and try to solve this issue together with art blocks, and that
Yeah.
really helps a lot. But after this, I just thought that like I really love the community behind this because I feel like people are really it's like meme power. And I feel the fun like people are playing this and actually not maybe just not make it that serious because it's always good to see art to be extended, but maybe it's not the correct way to be extended. It's fine, but I really want to step forward and to create more cool works like just like Crypto Pochi, and it's just like the in the exact time after that, and also because having that like hem see hem event chance, so that's why I start doing and people start to see my work and I try to see like there's a lot of better things I can do.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying CM is bad, but like CM is not the perfect way I will want to present this work.
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And do you actually have like the original or like some of the early drawings or conceptual pieces of what, the CHAM looked like?
Yeah, so the very original one of that is in open processing. You can see that There's multiple version of that actually. So there, it's about this strange robot project. This one, it's in March. It's the exact time I just talked to the friend for
Hmm.
that. And then this is after I chatted with another friend, like saying like and I feel that like people has a lot of different spirit and people lives with different faces, different thoughts in the world. So I start to make this like kind of ham face and robot face, like just like you can see that there's a lot of different kind of people, and we are kind of one of that. But you are the specialist, like and everyone's unique.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's the
absolutely.
original thing of this, and like I didn't thought of that. Like the son just take away and become a CM. I did. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Seaham out of the group, or is it more of you like them all as kind of like equal?
Nah, I view of them kind of equal, but I really like the one like Vincent Vendo support me, and also Dimitri support me. So
Hmm.
they just like at the very beginning of that they gave to me like three CM and also zero beta. So these three, I really like this one. It's kind of cute. Yeah. This one, I think it's zero beta gave to me. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Zero Beta did a fantastic. I know they collected a lot early on and were very generous, like giving them out to people. So big shout out to Zero Beta on that.
Yeah. I also like a lot of things for Dimitri and like also Miss and
Dimitri.
Vendor. Like they are very like cool community members.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's great. I think you've definitely brought a lot of people together through this project inadvertently, maybe, but I think it's such a fun project. With the design of Crypto Pochi, was that always a project in the works, or was it more of a follow up once the Hams community was created?
You mean Crypto Pochi? Is that sorry, can you repeat? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So as far as like, was Crypto Pochi, was that always a project that was in the works, or was it more of a follow up? Once the Ham community was
Okay.
kind of created.
So actually Crypto Pochi is from another work. So
Oh, okay.
it's origin called Sleepy Pochi. So it's like the work I done last year. So they are kind of more. This is the original style of that.
And
Yeah.
what I love about these is that you can actually like drag on one of them and then like move them all around, and then it's almost
Yeah.
like they're annoyed when you kind of like move them around and they hit other pochies. I think this is such a fun one. I love that project a lot.
Yeah. So when I work with that, so when I would start working on the crypto pochi part, and also integrate a little bit of CHAM feature, like you can see that in the CHAMs, when you move your mouse around, their like
They moved
eyebrows
around.
and they'll move. So in crypto pochi, also you can see that for some like sneaky pochi or kind of like pochis, there you can see the also the eyebrow. They have the same movement of that. Oh, my browser is crashing. Yeah, I
Well,
opened too much.
I highly recommend everyone watching to check out Cheyu's website. It's
Yeah.
cheyuwu.com/arts to see all the incredible portfolio of your work. You have so many projects up there, so many fun, animated, interactive pieces. And yeah, I just highly recommend everyone spend some time, check out some of your older and just the variety of work that you create, I think is really, really special.
Thank you.
So you have a drop. I was actually listening to DoodleLabs
Yeah.
yesterday, and it was released that you're gonna have a drop in the next week or two through DoodleLabs that will include art with generative music. Is that
Yes.
so? The generative music part I think is really interesting. Is that something that's new for you as far as like exploring?
Yeah, so actually, I've done some of the generative music thing before. So I just showcase this one. I really like this one. So I start to do some kind of music generation after I know like the sound artist and start seeing another artist, Aluan Wang. It's also another Taiwanese artist. First Taiwanese to launch on art blocks.
Okay.
So after seeing his work on early generative, this one. So this is kind of like a lot of dots, and they will just might like trigger by time. There's some there are drums, some there are snails, and like I can change the spin and also make it sine wave update.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, kind of playful. So this is how I start like doing kind of generative music stuffs, and I really like to do it like by Tone.js or P5.sound.
Hmm.
And then in this like the upcoming collab work with White Castle, I'm trying to reproduce kind of lo-fi feeling music by computer, and
Uh
also
huh.
include some of the samples, but there will be like basically on chain and with pure web audio API.
That's great. Love the
Yeah.
lo-fi music, so I'll
Yeah.
be a huge fan of that. Are you able to share? I don't want to get you in trouble or anything, but are you able to share any details about this drop, or is it more of everything's kind of like,
Mm,
you know, leave it
it'll
up to
be
you?
something about hamburgers.
Hamburgers. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, something yeah about hamburgers.
Cool. And then, with the different types of media that are out there that you've used at work in the past, what are your thoughts on like the metaverse? I feel like some of your pieces might be really cool to kind of see in, the different metaverses that are being created in the NFT
Yeah.
space.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that for I'm still struggling to start like having more time because it's like
Yeah.
I'm basically working on like three projects right now, and I try to do more commercial work. So I just want to see like how to expand the value of art into commercial, like to match someone's need, but still keep the art value of that. So I collab with Webcastle, and I collab with some the other commercial brands still working. Not cannot reveal yet, and
Mhm.
yeah. But for the metaverse, my imagination is that um, I want to explore for my own version of metaverse. I want to explore the poetry within digital world. So when I hear a sentence that like if you push the technical, push science to the extreme level, it will just feel like art. So I want to explore that kind of virtual and abstract world that um, our original like uh, how to say that how to get the most core of all the things and the art feeling within those.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes total sense. So I know you work really, really hard. I know like all of the generative artists out there work really, really hard. Mental
Yeah.
health I think is so important in this space. You know, NFT space, crypto works just moves like
Yeah.
a mile a minute. How do you wind down once a project is fully minted, or maybe even during the process of coding a project?
Yeah, I'm very nervous when I'm dropping Electriz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw that because I know that it's kind of crypto winter and NFT
Mhm.
winter right now, and
Yeah.
I didn't get the chance to release it a little bit earlier because I want to originally I want to release it as a curated series, but didn't get the maybe some of the details like maybe our blogs like still want me to push it a little bit more, but I didn't have the
Mhm.
time of that. So actually, I'm pretty nervous for that, and also having a lot of stressed, so that also keep me from like creating new things for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I find myself I just want to create something I really love. So after that I go to Lisbon for a Solana event, and then after on that event I just try to code something and play with shader like after just like after a long time ago when I played last time play with shader and create something I love, and I feel
Cool.
that energy of creating something come back to me again. And yeah, so actually I just want to avoid myself to make all the works perfect because it's not always you're not able to make something perfect, but
Yeah.
that's what I want to get a balance and also get a better work-life balance because I'm kind of
Mhm.
working like 18 hours a day to get something, not only making NFTs. I have my real-time work which I quit like recently for making arts and
That's
just want
great.
to
Yeah.
develop my artist career.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're able to focus on just art. And I feel like it's got to be really hard as an artist to, judge your own work before it's ready for the public. Like, as far as like, releasing work is concerned, are you more concerned about, is the most important part just like how you feel about a project as opposed to like what others think?
So I will always release what I love.
Good.
So
Yeah.
and but I will also ask for some of friends yeah, my girlfriend, also some of my friend, my family, just to let them see like how do you feel about this. I'll just
Yeah.
like take my phone like or like invite them to see. And also it's fun like because my girlfriend is also a coder, so when I'm doing Electric projects, she's like sitting beside me and say, wow, this output is pretty exciting. So that's what how I feel like someone like in my world, and also someone really feels how exciting when I'm creating my works. That's the moment I really love.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Do you have any favorite books or resources that you use which you would recommend to other artists out there?
I didn't have the book, but I have two like artists I admire. One is Zach Lieberman. Like yeah,
Love
so
Zach.
Zach's
Yeah,
great of like cool generative works, and then another
definitely.
one is Daniel Schiffman, like doing the PV Digest tutorials and also teaching at NYU.
Yeah, because yeah, he does the coding train also.
Yeah, the coding trend channel,
Yeah.
like where everyone starts to learn
Yeah.
coding.
Is that how you I mean, is that partially how you learned also, like, through Coding Train, or
I actually not. I actually
Okay.
just started like doing PPI on my own and start to see like others. So I have like a lot of, some of the artists on open processing I know for like very a long while ago, like Takao, like the Japanese artist.
Mhm.
I saw him start the daily creative coding challenge, and that's why I started my own daily creative coding
Oh,
thing.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's good because then it pushes you to, just kinda create, explore something new each and every day.
Yeah. But I know that it's really hard to create something every day. I'm not like
Yeah,
people,
I'm
they
sure
keep
that
like 5,000 days.
the
But yeah, but it really, I think it's really has its meaning. Like when you create every day, you try to put your life experience in what's the emotion of that day in that. So I
Mhm.
actually like every of my work is kind of a diary of that day of mine. So sometime I like encounter some like sorrow, like I just like have some sad events or like have some
Yeah.
happy moments, I would just write in the work description. So I try to like just find this all of my works, though it looks abstract,
Mhm.
but it's more related to my emotional experience.
Yeah, it's like a way for you to express yourself through your art.
Yeah. And
That's
actually,
great.
like for each of them, like I spend almost like an hour for work, maximum 2 hour to create one.
Okay.
So it's like kind of like briefing or like writing things for me
Yeah,
instead of like thinking about how to program something.
that's great. And then do you have any other artwork? I know you have other artwork, available on platforms outside of Art Blocks. Besides OpenSea, do you have any other artwork on other platforms?
Yeah. So most of that is on Foundation,
Foundation?
and
Okay.
so yeah, yeah, it's a Foundation one, and also OpenSea has there's the main collection on OpenSea is this one's. So the collections I have the original generative art
Mhm.
NFT. So it's the kind of it's stop minting that because I'm not selling license. I'm selling art, and
Mhm. Yeah.
then the other ones, the craft hymns. Craft hymn is mostly not for sale, but I'm still drawing that for some like cool community members. Just to, it's more like a thank you letter from me.
Yeah,
Like
those are so
yeah,
fun.
yeah, and then I try the crypto poetry one. So my most of my work will release some foundation as a static format, and I plan to release more interactive, maybe on Solana in the future or like on FX Hash. I'm still planning on that.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll definitely have to keep an eye out for all that. I think,
thank you.
super excited about all the work you've created. How can people reach you should they have any questions, like any social media plugs, like Twitter or anything where people can follow you?
Yeah, just I think Twitter will be the best way to reach me. I actually encounter a lot of scams in Discord.
Yeah,
I'm afraid of that, so just reach me
totally.
out on Twitter and just talk with me. I'll be like pretty open to discuss and chat.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then what's your handle? Is it just is it Che Yu Wu?
It's Choyu 345 because
Three,
someone
four.
take Choyu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's
Yeah.
note it on that. No, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Che Yu, for joining us on After Dinner Mints today. I really appreciate it. Um, yeah, you have such an amazing story, and I was really happy that we timed this somehow where you were able to release your project the day before you were on our, After Dinner Mints. So,
Yeah.
yeah, congratulations again on yesterday's drop.
Thank you.
Cool. And moving forward, next we're gonna have the Squiggle giveaway. I'm gonna read a couple notes before I post the link. As a reminder for the giveaway, you will need to write in the correct answer for the first trivia question, and you won't be able to proceed to the other three questions unless you get that first question correct. I will post a link shortly that will lead you to a set of trivia questions. You'll need to answer all four questions correctly. And for those who get answers correct within 90 seconds of me posting the link on Discord, their names will be put into a random number generator, and one person will be the winner of a brand new Squiggle. Most answers can be found on the community-driven ArtBlocks wiki page, artblocks.wiki, except for that first question, which we talked about a little bit earlier on today. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. Oops, let me, there we go. I'll drop it in a couple times. But yeah, good luck to everyone entering. You'll have 90 seconds from when I first dropped that link inside of Discord. Is that not the right link, or is that the right link? Did I add an S by accident? Here you go. I meant it. There we go. Oh, shit. Sorry about that. It looks like I posted with an S at the end, so. Cool. We're going to add 30 seconds of that, get you back on par, but good luck to everyone. Just as a reminder, you're going to need to answer all 4 questions correctly. For those who enter, get all answers correct within 90 seconds. Their names will be put into a random number generator, and one person will be the winner of a brand new Squiggle. We still have to mint last week's Squiggle. I know some people are out of town as far as the multi-sig, so we'll go ahead and mint that hopefully in the next week. And then with the same thing with tonight's, we'll go ahead and mint that, at some point in the next few days, potentially next week as well. So good luck to everyone. While we're waiting, we'll go ahead and announce a couple of news and notes. Our next curator drop will be on Monday, December 13th at 12 p.m. Central. Jen Stark will be releasing her project Vortex. So looking forward to that on Monday, December 13th, 12 p.m. Central. Jen Stark will be releasing her project Vortex. Just also another note, we have today's episode and one more episode. After these 2 episodes are done, anyone who's won a Squiggle from every single episode that we've done on After Dinner Mints, you won't be eligible for Squiggles moving forward in 2022. We're trying to give other people an opportunity to enter and win for a Squiggle. So just throwing that out there now as we prepare for that in the future. So got a few seconds left. Cool, and it is closed. Looks like we had 69 entries, everyone. One of everyone's favorite number in the crypto and meme space. So good luck to everyone who entered. Luke's gonna fire up the random number generator. There's the first list right there, number 61. Scroll down to number 61. I'll have Luke punch that in. Looks like R. Butler, and then a couple numbers after that. So Luke will go ahead and post that inside of the chat. R. Butler, if you can go ahead, R. Butler 8397. If you can go ahead and send me your wallet address, congratulations. You are the owner of a brand new Squiggle, which we will give away, or not give away, we will mint hopefully in the next week or so. So if R. Butler can go ahead and send me their wallet address, we'll get that in the queue for minting another Squiggle. So thanks to everyone for, hopefully trying out this new way of us doing a Squiggle giveaway. It requires everyone to obviously tune in, and hopefully it'll be a little bit easier for people who are actually paying attention and obviously watching the entire episode. So thanks for everyone for tuning in on that part. On next week's show, which will actually be pre-recorded this week and made public next Wednesday, it'll be on Wednesday, December 15th. We're going to have generative artist Darian Brito. They're the creator of the curated drop Pigments and also doing a playground drop tomorrow called Paths. So looking forward to talking to Darian tomorrow, or for pre-recorded tomorrow, but being released next Wednesday. And then as far as next week's giveaway, we still haven't figured out the details of how that's going to be given, but we'll figure something out, post something on Discord. Make sure you jump inside of the upcoming projects channel. If you scroll to the way top, and all the upcoming After Dinner Mints information, a link to the old episodes of After Dinner Mints, all the information's up there. So be sure to check that out. But yeah, with that being said, I want to thank again Che-Yu Wu for joining me on After Dinner Mints. Really appreciate you tuning in to their entire community. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the Art Blocks YouTube channel. Be kind to each other, buy what you love, set up a hardware wallet, and we will see everyone next week for the last episode of After Dinner Mints of the 2021 year. So thanks a lot again, Chuyu. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks. Have a good one.